guys, the past 2 videos or past 4 videos are actually pretty damn short, so this one's going to be a little bit longer, or actually fairly long. This one's about almost 12 minutes long. So this is an MJV video. I love MJV videos. Like, usually they're all really good and they're all really entertaining and stuff, and I'm always into them, and they always kind of have me like, what the fuck? So hopefully this one is good. There's no specific horror or anything. It just says 2 scary horror stories animated. So without further ado, let's get into this video. My daughter had been trying to warn me, narrated by Demon Creep.
My daughter's been trying to warn me for weeks. I really should have listened.
What? Guess we'll find out.
Daddy? I think there's a monster in the attic. I gave my daughter a tired smile. It was the best I could do at this point. She'd been doing this for weeks now.
Well, is she
Every
right?
night I'd come and tuck her in.
Is she right?
Switch the nightlight on and kiss her goodnight.
You gotta check.
When she would pull the blanket tight under her chin and tell me about the monster living in the attic of our house. Eyes wide, lips quivering. She would shake her little head furiously and insist that she could not possibly go to sleep until I got up and checked.
Go check.
It wouldn't matter how much I tell her that it's all just in her head.
Well, you're not checking.
That monsters aren't real.
You're not checking.
If
Maybe
I don't
she
check
needs
the attic, she'd wake up screaming and crying just past midnight. Every single time.
Then check.
It's not like her fears were completely baseless, as we had all been hearing odd skittering noises coming from up there at night.
Well, then, go
Probably
check.
rats. No monsters that light-footed.
Go check it, dummy.
Please, Daddy. Could you go and check? She whispered, afraid that the thing upstairs would eavesdrop and get mad at her request. Okay, I replied.
Finally.
There was no harm in indulging this little quirk of hers for at least a little longer. After all, the day when she would stop asking me to check for monsters and slam the door shut in my face wasn't all that far away. I just wished it wasn't the attic, though.
At least our curtains are closed.
Why can't the damn thing live in her closet like a normal monster? Like a bored robot carrying out its daily task, I trudged out of her room, yawning as I reached the attic door, before sliding the ladder down and climbing up, one rickety rung at a time. I popped my head into the cramped space, slipped my phone out of my pocket and turned on its flashlight. Motes of dust shivered in the pale glow cast by the phone which illuminated the attic. Cardboard boxes covered in tattered rags. My wife's old easel and some broken furniture filled up the tiny attic, but no monsters. "All right, honey," I said after coming back down to my daughter's room. "I've checked. No monsters again tonight. Maybe we'll find them tomorrow." She grinned, relieved. "Thank you, Daddy. Good night, love."
Like, does she actually want to check every night?
Groaning and rubbing the crick in my neck.
That's annoying.
I entered our bedroom and plopped down on the bed belly first, mushing my face into the pillow.
That must feel nice.
"Is Daddy back from fighting monsters?" my wife asked, slight mirth dancing in her tired voice. I grunted. "Yep." Kicked its little ass and sent it scurrying back to hell. She chuckled, and then turned over to the other side, her back facing me. I shut my eyes and got ready to go to sleep, when I was rudely interrupted by the critters in the attic skittering around like kids hopped up on candy. Freaking bastards with their little rat paws slapping against the wooden flooring of the attic.
Yeah, but is it really a rat?
"Babe, you really need to get rid of those rats."
Yeah.
I nodded, then
Rats.
realized she couldn't see me. "Yeah. Tomorrow." She sighed and shrugged her shoulders. Soon her breathing slowed down as she fell asleep. I wanted to follow her into the dream world, but my stiff neck wouldn't allow me to do so.
That's annoying.
I tossed and turned, before finally realizing I'd have to lie on my back if I were to have any shot at catching some sleep. And I hated doing that.
I hate sleeping on my
I
back.
hadn't slept on my back in ages, but
I
the
had to
ache
stay
in
on
my
my
neck
stomach
forced me.
or my sides.
And then that damn skitter again. Heck. I rubbed my forehead, wiggled my shoulders and opened my eyes, and saw who, no, what had been making that noise for all those weeks. Up on the ceiling I spotted a figure.
Huh?
White, but hidden by the dark.
What?
I froze. What the heck? It shifted, and there was that sound again, like claws scratching wood. My heart beat faster and my body erupted in sweat. What the heck? What the heck? Hands trembling, I reached for my phone and gently swung it around, shining the light on the figure on the ceiling. The light fell upon a face. Old.
That's terrifying.
Wrinkled. Framed by matted locks of white hair that flowed down like the aerial roots of an ancient tree. It was an old woman, dressed in white, leering down at me, her fingers digging into the wood of the ceiling. I gasped, and the grinning woman turned and crawled out of the room, moving across the ceiling like a messed up spider woman, before disappearing into the hallway outside. I jumped out of the bed and ran out into the hallway, letting my eyes scan each and every inch of the walls outside. But there was no one there. It was like she had disappeared.
Is it in your daughter's room?
I would have almost believed that I had dreamt it all up if I hadn't noticed the long claw marks on the ceiling and felt my stomach drop. And that's when I finally understood that for all those weeks that we had been hearing those sounds, it wasn't some rats scaring around. It was that woman, looking down at our sleeping bodies, watching, grinning.
That's why I always check, you don't just assume. Deep web animal guy, of course.
I'm from the Netherlands, and last year, my friends and I were having a party.
Okay.
I use the word party very loosely. It was just a few stupid 18-year-old dudes getting drunk at one of our friends' places. His family's rich, lived in the rice bike, and had a house with a good-sized garden.
That's
so
fun.
when we were hanging at this guy's place, we always had a blast.
B-I-E-R, buyer?
Eric,
Beer.
the guy whose place we were hanging at,
That's
suggested that we explore the deep web together. He had downloaded Tor and had been looking around on it for the past couple of days, and figured it would be fun, just for laughs. Most of us hadn't even heard of the deep web before, so when he explained to us what it was, our drunken asses were totally in. So he shows us all of the common sites that you've probably heard of. After a while, we started going off-road and looking for some obscure, crazy things. We found people selling drugs, a bunch of those hitmen services which look pretty fake, even a site where you could have a box full of actual shit mailed to someone. That one was particularly funny at the time. Still sort of is. We came across a site in Dutch that was selling animals. Not crazy, exotic animals, but like cats and dogs. Okay, that's pretty weird. Why would you need to be selling such normal pets on the deep web? We were about to click off and find something more interesting, when a chat box popped up on the screen, asking us what sort of animal we were looking for, and if we needed any help. Drunk off our asses, we decided to play along with this random guy who must have run the site. And since he sold dogs, we typed to him in English, "Can you send a bunch of bitches around to my place ASAP?" Our country is highly proficient in English, so he definitely understood our innuendo. He told us to stop wasting his time and to get off the site. We decided to ask a legitimate question. Why are you selling cats and dogs on the deep web? The guy's response really surprised us, as we didn't see it coming. He told us that all of the pets for sale on the site were stolen from their previous owners, and then sold on for profit.
Assholes, wow.
The guys behind the site would go around to people's houses, wait for their dogs to be let out into the yard, steal their designer pets, and then sell them at a major discount. We asked him why he did it, and he said it was surprisingly lucrative. Since some breeds can be really expensive and sought after, there was a lot of demand. They also stole cats, which he said were much easier to get a hold of, since owners kept much less of an eye on them. What was our response to this? Well, we were drunk, so we started calling him an arsehole. He didn't respond well to this, calling us pussies and saying we'd never say such a thing to his face. He wasn't eloquent or anything. He just typed like some sort of thug. At one point, Eric, who was typing, was saying that if the guy had any pets of his own, he would realize how messed up what he was doing was, and that he'd fuck up anyone he caught trying to steal his cat. There was a slight pause before the guy simply replied, "Okay, I'm coming to get it, and you won't catch me."
Oh, snap.
Bullshit, we all thought. Firstly, what are the frigging odds that this jerk-off would ever do anything? On top of that, what are the odds that he even lives close by enough for it to be worth his while? So we figured, screw it. We kept berating him and calling him an arsehole in a variety of ways. After a while, he stopped responding with his empty threats, and just went silent. We kept typing, but since he wasn't responding anymore, we got bored quickly.
He's on his way.
A week or so passed, and I get a call from Eric that chilled me to the damn bone. Turns out that the guy's threats weren't so empty after all. His mum had gone to let the family cat, Cubus, into the house the night before, but it was nowhere to be seen. She figured that it just wanted to stay out for the night, so the family went to bed and thought no more about it. The next morning, when she opened the front door, right there on the doorstep was Cubus, almost totally skinned. It may have taken them a while longer to realise that the bloody mess was their cat, had the skin and fur of the tail not been left on as to help them identify it. The guy must have traced Eric's IP address, located his house, waited to find out which cat was his, and then caught it when no one else was watching. Maybe he was planning on stealing it, but figured that the breed wasn't worth taking, so he'd just send a message instead. We also don't know whether he really did live close by, or got someone else to do his dirty work. The thought of him living close by is pretty horrifying, as is the thought that he was watching Eric's house, or at least someone was. We didn't fully realise who we were messing with. Sorry, Cubus.
Shit.
If you want to see more animated horror stories, check.
Yeah, see, like, don't like bring your pets into it. Don't bring your like animals into it. Because then, like, what if something actually happens? In which case, it did. So now your poor cat had to die because you're dumbass, you're drunk dumbass. Went on the dark web, deep web, whatever the hell you want to call it. Someone again, please explain dark web / deep web, because like I feel like it's the same shit. What the fuck's the difference? Deep web is like deeper or what? I don't understand. It's still bad. So either way, it's still bad. Like, either way, it's still dark, and then the dark web is dark too. So like, it's the same shit, is it not? But I don't know. It fucking pisses me off though, just because like you never know what people actually do. Like you don't know. Like anyone can do anything. You never know what will happen. So just be aware. Be cautious of like what other people can do. You don't know people's intentions. You don't know. No one knows anybody's intentions. Like you don't know anybody. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what they're gonna do, what they plan on doing, and what they want to do to you. So just be cautious. Always gotta be cautious with that shit. Never fuck around and just think, oh yeah, they're not gonna do anything. They'll do something. So just be cautious, please, and don't bring your pets into it if it doesn't have to happen. Okay. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys did enjoy this video, give it a like. If you guys had any thoughts on this video, or if you have anything to say, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you have not done so yet, and be sure to turn on post notifications as well to never miss any videos that I do upload. I upload twice daily at noon, so be sure to tune in every day at noon, and then you'll see 2 new videos from me. So that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.